time. Let's break this mother down with Shizzywhiznut.
An open letter to Marla Hughes, Gainesville's Postal Service Queen of Fiction. Oh, dear Marla. Oh, sweetheart, you really thought you were going to slip that one past the Gainesville division, didn't you? Just lean real hard on the old "it's in the mail" excuse like this was 1974 and Judge Bolitho wouldn't notice the giant steaming pile of nonsense you parked right in his docket. You came into federal court acting like pro se means professional at sending excuses. But unfortunately for you, the federal judiciary runs on rules and facts, not fairy tales about post offices and imaginary continuance motions that somehow exist only in your twisted, sick little mind until the day you needed to cover your ass. The envelope always tells the truth, even when you don't. So let's go ahead and walk you through the timeline one more time, nice and slow, since time management is something clearly not being your strong suit. March 24th, 2025, you and your happy ass was personally served. The clock starts. On April 14th, the deadline to file your responsive pleading, and you did nothing. On April 17th, plaintiff moves for default. Clerk enters default, and the same day, your envelope is postmarked. April 18th, which would be Friday, the court receives your motion, the one you claimed you sent before default was entered, even though the postmark says otherwise. Marla, help me out here. Was your plan to gaslight the Northern District of Florida Gainesville Division into believing you're a victim of time-traveling postal conspiracy? Did you think Gainesville runs on your honor system? Because all that envelope proved is you didn't bother to lift a damn finger until your back was against the wall. You didn't miss the deadline because of mail delays, Marla. You missed it because you were too busy playing defense like a toddler hiding under the kitchen table with her eyes closed, thinking if she can't see the problem doesn't exist. Or maybe you were sending hate email messages to people that talk about how horrible of a person that Lynette is, allegedly. And you can't spin this into sympathy, Marla. You told the judge on the record that you mailed a motion for continuance before default hit, but the envelope you sent to the Gainesville division wrecks that lie on contact. Postmarked April 17th, same day the default was entered. Not the day before, not 2 days before, the same damn day. Did you forget that the court scans and posts the mail with the envelope attached, or did you just assume that your pro se status gave you the green light to lie to a federal judge like this was traffic court in Levy County? Here's the part I love the most. You didn't even mail your continuance motion until 3 full days after your deadline expired. That's not the mail delayed me. That's you failed to show your happy ass up, then tried to gaslight the record after the fact. This isn't even your first story problem. Remember the last little song and dance about negotiating with potential attorney? Funny, no names, no declarations, no affidavits, no exhibits, just happy vibes. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, this motion for continuance appears like the world's saddest get out of default free card, but only after the default was already entered. You know, the one you swore was already in Jacksonville? Except, whoops, it was postmarked the day of. Girl, you didn't just step on a rake, you hit yourself in the face with it, backed up and did it again, backed up and did it again, backed up and did it again. Reminder, the Gainesville division ain't the Levy County PTA. This is federal court, not Marla's mail-in forgiveness hotline. You aren't up against a traffic cop who will cut you a break because your cousin knows his mama. You're in front of Judge Bolitho in the Northern District of Florida, Gainesville Division, where Rule 12 is the thing. Deadlines aren't optional and postmarks don't lie. The only thing that saved your bacon this time was plaintiff's counsel playing magnanimous, but not because you deserved it, but because they probably know they're gonna spank you on the merits anyway of this case. But don't get cute. You won't get a pass twice. The next time you roll into court with a story this stupid, there won't be a soft landing. There will be sanctions, and you'll have the rare honor of getting smoked by your own bullshit filed paperwork. Final thought, Marla, because I know that you'll read this. Federal court doesn't care if you emailed it with a kiss and a prayer. Federal court doesn't care if you were thinking about hiring a lawyer. Federal court cares that you show your happy ass up on time with your paperwork in order. You're not the victim of USPS. You're the victim of your own half-assed approach to litigation. Next time, try FedEx, or better yet, just try the truth. Sincerely, Shizzywhiznut, proprietor of the Short Bus Litigation Academy, specializing in remedial courses like deadlines are real, mailing isn't filing, lying to the judge is a bad idea, even if you are cute.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Oh, you thought I was done, didn't you? No, I have an open letter to the Honorable Judge Zachary Bolitho. If you let them lie on the record, don't be shocked when they do it yet again. Dear Judge Bolitho, with the deepest respect, and I mean that the same way one might respect a man trying to empty the ocean with a coffee cup, I have to ask, are you actually effing reading these filings, Your Honor? Or just glancing at the headers and rubber stamping your way through this circus? Because if you had taken even half a second to compare the envelope from Marla Hughes's previous "it's in the mail, I swear" filing with her latest round of paperwork, you'd notice something spectacularly obvious. She lied on the record to your face. You gave her the benefit of the doubt. You bent over backwards, gave her a free pass on default, and leaned on that warm-hearted defaults are disfavored language like this was small claims court, not federal litigation. But here we are, mere days later, Marla's back filing the same request you already ruled on as if your last order never happened. You call it pro se confusion. I call it what it is, weaponized incompetence and contempt for the court. Let's be honest, Judge, you enabled this. You let that last motion slide without so much as acknowledging the glaring timeline inconsistency between her story and the postmarked envelope. You sent a message loud and clear. Say whatever the F you want, this court won't call you on it. So now, shocker of all shockers, Marla walked right back in and did it again. Same request, same nonsense, because why not? You gave her every reason to believe the Northern District of Florida is a soft target for people who can't or won't follow basic rules. This isn't about being pro se. This is about integrity, or in Marla's case, the absolute lack of. Here's what you missed while you're being patient, Your Honor. Marla claimed she mailed the motion before the default was entered. The envelope attached to that motion was postmarked the exact same day as default hit. That's not an accident. That's not confusion. That is a deliberate misrepresentation to the court. And what she did learn from this experience, that it works in your court. That she can roll back in, file duplicative garbage, and the worst thing, she'll get a polite denied as moot. Your Honor, respectfully, this is what happens when you reward dishonesty with patience. A court that doesn't enforce truth encourages lies. It's not enough to say denied as moot when you know damn well what's going on here. If a plaintiff lied on their affidavit, if Jeremy Hale's attorney fabricated a mailing date, you'd be quoting Rule 11 and waving around sanctions faster than Marla can find a new excuse. Oh, but because she's pro se, you're going to bend over backwards, or maybe you're bending over forwards and then crying when it pinches. And it's not justice, it's enabling. This is how the anti-what-the-hell's ecosystem operates. Say anything, file anything, lie bold-faced to the course, and trust that nobody will bother to read past the first damn page. And so far, Judge, they're right. Respectfully, it's time to show a little backbone. This isn't the Pee Wee Division of Federal Court. This is the Gainesville Division, United States District Court, Northern District of Florida. If you don't expect defendants to be honest, then just say so. If you do, then enforce it, because right now the message from the courtroom is tell your BS story even if it changes page to page, because we're too polite to notice. You deserve better. This court deserves better. Jeremy deserves better. The process deserves better. With all respect that your position is due and all the blunt honesty that this situation requires, Shizzywhiznut, Dean of Short Bus Litigation Academy, now offering night classes on how to read an effing court order for dummies. Thank you very much. And still, your daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down with Shizzywhiznut.